See that mountain behind me? Look, it doesn't show up too well. Let's see if I can click on it. Make it come up better. There it is. That mountain behind me, I'm going to try to climb that at night. I've got a few hours. I'm going to babysit this afternoon. Got a few hours, and then I'm going to go try to climb it. But first, I'm going to go down there and have some breakfast at Mimi's, have an omelet, and then I'm going to try to climb that mountain. There's a little M at the top of the mountain. Maybe I can reach up, make it up to the M. We'll see. Okay, take care. Wish me luck in my morning endeavor. Oh, can you see the M? Let's see. There are people there. I would felt awkward if I got all weird there for a second. I didn't want them to think I was filming them. Can you see the M up there, right at the tippy top? That's where I'm going to be trying to make it to. Let's see. I found myself at the base of a mountain. I found a little access point between these housing areas over here. There's a fence right over there, housing down here, and there's a little gate right there. I was able to get through. And then more houses over here, and then a little trail, which I usually avoid trails, but in this case, there's nobody on it, so I'll go up there and I'll probably find my way off the trail. I want to get to the top of that mountain. Not a complex hike, but certainly a nice one for one of my first mountain climbs, or my very first mountain climb coming back to this country after all the time away. You have to be careful of rattlesnakes. There are no leeches or suzumebachi giant hornets here, but you have to worry about ticks, which are pretty bad, rattlesnakes, and there are tarantula hawks, but I don't think they're likely to sting. Okay, well, let's go on up there and climb this mountain. Let's do it. Well, here's a familiar silhouette, and silhouette of what's something that is now, which is basically me for a little while, and then something that was. Look at that. You can see the granite here has a line running. See the line right through here? Of course you can see it. It's standing out so obvious. I think that was an injection of some sort of material, crack in the granite. What is that? Would that be? What is that called? That great granite formation under the earth. I can't remember what it's called. Batholist? That's not it. It's when magma cools and slowly congeals. Is that right? The word? And then cools, and all the grain, all the minerals form out like there. I used to know what all this stuff was. I've forgotten. I'm gonna have to renew my understanding. And then a crack occurred, and some other material was injected along this crack line there. Fascinating. Something to think about as I continue further. Here we go. Another old familiar from my early days. Black beetle. Order Coleoptera. We used to call them stink bugs. If you touch them, they'll raise their butt up in the air. Let's wait till it comes out a little bit. And if you really bother them, they'll release a bit of stink. Come on, show us your butt in the air. I don't want to bother you so much. You're very gay. Oh, there it is, kind of releasing, see? Maybe that's just me doing it, but they will do that. This one seems to be content to just wander. See ya, I'll look for your buddies. Alright, not quite so intimidating as the giant spiders of Japan or the giant hornets. These ants, black ants, and there are complementary red ants here too, can deliver quite a convincing bite when they want to. You'd think I would know, being trained in entomology, but I can't remember. Do they deliver a sting as well? Perhaps a bite and a sting. Well, being of the order Hymenoptera? No, I can't. I gotta brush up on everything. They're related to wasps and bees, which of course do sting. Let's get in close. Have a close look there. And I gotta be wary of what's happening around my boots, because they could be climbing up my leg to deliver that aforementioned. Ouch. Let's see. Oh, there they are. See? Already one on my boot. Right there, coming up on board. Let me get it if I don't step back. Step back, do a quick check. This reminds me of checking for leeches back in Japan. Whereas the leech will deliver a painless bite, the ant, such as this one here, will deliver a very painful bite and perhaps a sting. Boy, does that look intimidating. Let's see if we can get in, zoom in there and see that. See that? Yeah, let's get off of there. Okay, better move on. They're all over the place. They have these little mounds. It's the red ants, the fire ants that I remember being stung with, or bitten by, or both when I was a youth. Oh boy, here's small ants. I'm gonna need to get out my old biology books and brush up on my ants. Maybe I found a new favorite. I remember Thoreau in one of his journals describing the great ant war that he witnessed, the black ants and the red ants, comparing it to the struggles of man and woman. Something to think about as I continue to find my way up. I'm going to take this trail for a bit. I have a feeling that it might go over here and then maybe up that saddleback. And if it does, then I'll probably follow it. This is my first foray. Years ago, I came up the side over there, very rough side up to an oasis, and then at the top. That was really hard. But I don't have enough time. I'm going to babysit my niece and nephew in 3 hours. So if I can find a quick and easy way to the top, then I'll take it. And if not, then I'll take what I can find. Okay, here we go, on the edge of civilization. See this little lovely here? This is called the Desert Ajax. No, it isn't. I made that up. I have no idea what it's called. But it sure is beautiful. There's a story related to Ajax. The Ajax, boom boom, the blue dot cleanser, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, for the extra strength, the clean things for the stains and covered blue stains. Was that a friend of mine, my best friend, when I was 10, who died in a traffic accident. His name was Alex, and we called him, that was our song we sang with him. But that's a sad story. But it was a shocking one, kind of like the shock of being back here, you know, like the shock of everything. Let's have a look back. There's the valley, Merino Valley. My brother's house is over there. Dramatic out there. Subtle, yet buoyant up here. I was looking at the plants, sitting on this bit of, is it granite? I'm looking at the little insects, little flowers, can you see them? Thinking how subtle it is. When you're in the desert, you have to quiet the mind more than in Japan, because the beauty speaks more intuitively than explicitly. I think I see the way. See that over there? See a path that goes up maybe along the saddle up to the top. At the rate I'm going, though, I doubt I'll make it very far. I'm stopping every 5 feet. See, there's a reason for this. See the way these plants have this space here? It's not because people have been walking. It's because there are numerous factors. See the border here? The plants aren't touching one another. Some plants, I don't know if these are the case, but some plants release chemicals that keep their distance, stay back chemicals. I think we can go over there. This is not the land of the creosote. I can't wait to get out to the desert proper and show you guys the creosote. It's one of the longest lived plants in the world. Kind of a Methuselah plant in a way. The way that it creeps across the desert over centuries and possibly millennia. And it has that chemical interaction. It starts off in a single space, and then children of the plant grow out, creep across the desert. And if you're careful and cautious, you can find and attentive, you can find the trails the plant leaves across the centuries. I can't wait to share that story with you as soon as I get out to what I call the desert proper. This is certainly a proper desert, but not the desert that I remember so well. Watch out for snakes in places like this. If you're hiking in places like this, they'll come out in the early morning like this. It's not early, but they'll come out and sunbathe. You know, snakes and other reptiles. I think the word is, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, heliotherm? Whereas I think we are endotherms. We generate heat within our body. Heliotherms require the heat of the ambient environment. So snakes will sunbathe, gather up that energy before they begin their day. Particularly careful on the edges of the rocks like that. Having such a nice time. Gotta keep my voice down. Civilization might catch wind that I'm here and wish me back. I'll come back in a few hours. But for now, I could be a little wild. Follow my feet through treading the way between these plants. The small little spaces and gaps between the chemical interactions, forcing the division. sometimes those chemical interactions are at the root level. And we jump up and we surmount and then we jump across. There we go. It feels good. It's good to be back. And I think I found my route up. Let's see how far we can get up, guys. There's a lizard zipping across right there. Can you see it? Oh, this went down the hole. And there's some big lizards out here too. Turn off the camera for a moment and walk in silence for just a bit. See, well, I thought I'd stop and take a break, roughly maybe a third of the way up. And I want to share with you something I learned from experience climbing in this part. Not exactly here, further up. More brushy area. But anyway, I'm stopping and I'm taking a break on this outcrop of granite here. I'm doing that for a reason, sitting here. Whereas in Japan, I would do the same thing to prevent the leeches from latching onto me, although they'd be coming at me, sensing my body heat. Here, I'm doing it for a different reason. I'm trying to stay away from the ticks. If I'm very close to the vegetation, they can, they'll be sitting on the vegetation with their legs out. They'll grab you, kind of like a leech does, but without, leech doesn't have legs, of course. So I'm sitting here on the granite like that, and I'm careful to put my backpack here as well, and my hat upon the rock as well. Don't put it in places like this. If I put my hat over here, ticks might get inside the hat, or likewise on the bag and then on the body, and then you might be in trouble. I've had lots of ticks. In fact, I still have a tick head. It seems to be gone, but for decades it was buried in the back of my neck from something similar where I got in my hat, crawled down, was in my neck, and I pulled it out mistakenly and left the head in there. It was there for decades, at least the bump was. But the ticks will, there can be carriers of Lyme disease, and so you definitely don't want to have the ticks on you. So I've stopped frequently, check my boots, just like I used to do with the leeches, and now likewise. Let's take a look real quick. Sorry, I'm using the inside camera, you can't see quite as well. There's a Moreno Valley through here. Fire truck you can hear over there. Out there towards Palm Springs is out there. Can you see the mountains over there? Where Big Bear is, where the snow is? And way over here is Riverside. Maybe you can kind of triangulate and figure out where I am. Well, I think my break's over. Time to carry on and climb on. Let's take a slow pan across the valley, Moreno Valley. I pointed this out earlier, I think. Or maybe that was the message I sent to Emily. I just sent a video to my daughter pointing out all this. So there's Moreno Valley. Palm Springs is out there by that gap. Sorry if I already said this, but I wanted to show you now is this nice view of the Big Bear area, Lake Arrowhead area, with snow on the top. Isn't that nice? Alright, let's continue our way up. Well, I made it to the top. Here I am. You can see, hopefully you can see behind me, the big M on the mountain. I may try to go up there if time permits. I have a little bit of time left. I may not get too far up there, but let's just take a look at where I am. I'm standing on the top of this big boulder at the top, which stands atop the mountain. And you can see there's some people over there on that rock. And a dog. They've got a big German Shepherd. And the interesting thing I'll point out in just a moment. Let's do another turn. We saw this just a moment ago, the snow atop the mountain by Big Bear. Panning across Palm Springs and the desert, further deeper desert out there, headed towards the Colorado River, Nevada. Mountains. This is ripe area over there for exploration. An area of the desert that I've never properly explored, out by the Salton Sea area. Well, actually, the Salton Sea would be down this way. Yeah, Moreno Valley here. Hemet out that way. Hemet would be out that way. It's where my grandmother is buried. And then down here, Moreno Valley proper. And Riverside. Sorry if this is the third time I've said all that. And then, as I was telling Emily earlier, when the family moves out, we'll be living way over there by the ocean in Torrance, about a good hour drive away, at least an hour plus. Over there, the part of the mountains are full of wind, and the big M on top of Moreno Valley is mountain. My brother's house is right there. Well, that's it. I may add some more to this if I go further, and maybe some still shots of what I see along the way. The wind's coming up, so there's that. Have a great day, everybody. Oh, what I was going to say about this. Seeing people. 10 years of exploring in my area in Japan. 10 years, and I never ran across another hiker. First true hike out, and I ran across more people. This is definitely a different place. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye. See the big airplane there? This is March Air Force Base over here. And they're flying their training planes. Big military jet. See how it's banking touch and go training practice. It's not too loud. You don't hear them really. You don't notice them, especially when you're indoors. But when you're outside, you can hear them going by. Sometimes very fascinating planes. Lots of jets. Really neat. They've got a museum over there too. My brother and I went there. You can see some of the planes out there. They actually have, if you get up too close to the gate there, they'll race over. I guess they have snipers even. You don't want to get close to the fence over there. They don't like that one bit. And you better not set up a tripod and a camera. No, no, no. But wait, there's more. How about some fun trail running? Although these trails are a little tricky. It's granite makes a slippery sand. Still fun. I used to love trail running in Japan. I started off doing it here as a boy. And then as a youth. And now as an old man. Some things just don't change. And we go up. Okay, I'm at the top of the M. The radio towers are up here and lots of happy climbers at the top. The painted M is just below me there. Now it's time for me to run all the way back because I got some babysitting to do right down there. Congratulations, you made it! Well, we're wrapping this up. I made it to the top, got to that big M. I don't know, did I show you guys a picture of the big M? Did I take a picture there? I was worried I was running out of time. I've got to get back and babysit my niece and nephew. And I got back with 45 minutes to spare. But I got to the top, got to the big M up there, climbed the M, and then I met a really nice woman, talked to her for a bit. I think you saw that in the video just a moment ago. And then from there, I scrambled to the top and then had a beautiful wilderness run, ran down the trail down and then off into the wilderness, defying the rattlesnakes, the giant tarantula hawks, all the way through. And I made it down here, and here I am. Adventure is complete. Well, I'm at my brother's house is right there. I'm going to sign off for now. Start my babysitting duty. You guys have a great day. Thanks for joining me for my first official, really solo Softypapa adventure in the United States. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. See ya. Woof, woof.